welcome everyone. I'll quickly show you the agenda so that you know what we're going to talk about today. Let me just share my screen quickly and see if you see my screen. Can you guys see my screen? Give me a feedback. What do you see, Francesco?
Yeah, lots of moving things. It's very psychedelic and confusing. It's great.
Amazing. So we'll actually have just a quick round of introductions for those of you who have not been here before. I was thinking about adding some gifts about the current market cap, but I avoided. But it's also good news. Then we're gonna go into the new testnets deployment. So we have been asked by quite a few of community members to actually deploy other testnets on Gurley. So we have just done that. And then we will go into community integrations. So someone in our community was brave enough to decide to try to integrate Ocean Protocol with Superfluid, which we are extremely helpful and grateful to. Then we will go into something that is a bit more hardcore. In fact, we have new contracts versions with breaking changes. So we want to illustrate those to you, and our CTO Meow will do just that. And at the same time, we have also a new SDK, which Patrick will probably present you later on. And then, of course, we have our usual open Q&A session, where you can feel free to ask all the questions you have or all the help you need to actually get started with Superfluid. So without further ado, if this is the first time you are in the call, please make a quick introduction of yourself so that we know who you are. In the team here of Superfluid, we have me as COO and co-founder, Francisco, who is our CEO. Then we have Meow, who is a CTO, and then we have Nuno and Damola and Mehul. And then we have Cesar at design, and Ditomar as helping hand, and Patrick, who has recently joined us. So welcome, Patrick. It's a pleasure to have you in the team after helping us out as a third party for a bit. So yeah, who has not been here? If you want to take like those 20 seconds just to say who you are and what brought you here, that would be amazing.
Maybe Todd?
Sure, I'll go. My name is Todd Youngblood. I'm currently located in Colorado Springs, Colorado, in the United States. My background is in financial services, and I'm really interested in understanding how to use tokens to distribute equity in cooperative organizations.
Super cool. Be Alberto?
Hi, my name is Alberto Hadergy. I'm from Pocket Network. I am their growth and marketing lead, and I just wanted to tune in to catch up on the developments from Superfluid and see how we can support you guys.
Nice to see you again, man. Pancake? Okay, maybe more of an anonymous character. Raphael, would you like to say some words? Okay, well, very good introductions, guys. I know a lot of people prefer kind of anonymity, and that's super cool anyways. So yeah, let's go forward. And
yeah, I actually launched a pool, and it was good to see that we are actually in Europe, North America, and South America for now. We have someone in Africa and Asia as well, but probably not today. And you want to learn more about the product, apparently. So you want to know about Superfluid as a business and a business tool and a blockchain open source tool, more than just the code. So we'll try not to be too technical, even though when we start going into the contracts, we'll be a bit technical. So please excuse us if we are on the technical side. Now, next up would be testnets deployments. So who wants to introduce that? Maybe you, Francisco?
Yeah, sure. So today we've officially deployed to obviously Gurdy, which was deployed before, but there's a new contract version, Rinkeby and Robston. So I think this covers most of your integration needs. So if you're trying to integrate any other kind of DeFi protocol or any other kind of protocol that's on a specific testnet, that's the reason we deployed to all of them, right? So I hope this covers most of your needs. We've got a very cool deployment matrix, which I'll show you. Let me see if I can share my screen. So you can find here the network directory, and this has got all your contracts with your links to Etherscan for everything. So you can see everything here. We're in the process of validating the contracts too, so you'll be able to interact directly from there if you want. And all of this is loaded in the SDK. So when you launch the SDK, it knows all of this stuff anyway, so you can very quickly get up to speed. I know some of you were asking for Rinkeby. Somebody else asked me for Robston. So yeah, we just said, yeah, let's just do all of them. At some point, we'll do Coven too, but we were having a lot of trouble syncing the node. So we've skipped that for now. We will be doing other networks too going forward. So, if you have any questions, we've set up to do these kinds of multi-network deployments. So if you have any other networks that we might not know of, let us know, and we'll see what we can do. So yeah, that's it from my side. I think we'll go over the docs maybe later.
Great. If you does anybody have any questions about testnets? In the meantime, I launched a poll, so it looks like quite a few of you guys will use Gurley, but we have a lot of requests for Rinkeby as well. No questions? Anybody on testnets?
Testnets are cool.
I think they're pretty basic, yeah.
By the way, when you open the dashboard the first time, it will fund you. So you don't need to have any funds before. You can just go on any of the testnets, and as soon as you open it, you'll get some Ether. So very easy onboarding. If you want to test anything, just go for it. And all the testnets support ENS too.
All right. So next up, we have Santiago to introduce us a little quickly what he has worked on for Ocean Protocol integration with Superfluid, which we are super excited about. Floor is yours.
Yep. Hi, everyone. Yeah, I'm Santiago. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, sure, cool. Yeah, well, basically in December, Ocean launched their Ocean DAO initiative where people can start proposing these different kind of integrations with Ocean protocols. So me and the Superfluid team sent a proposal to integrate Superfluid and constant flow agreements into Ocean and compute to data services, which is pretty cool because until now the compute to data services will only be available for users to consume in a, let's say, static way. So people need to pay upfront for consuming either algorithms or building data science flows on Ocean. So my aim for this integration is to create a new way or a pretty cool alternative for data scientists and organizations to either publish and consume data science flows in real time. So looking forward to start working on this proof concept, and I hope to have an initial working version until the end of this month. Yep.
That's awesome, Santiago. Thank you. One of the most remarkable things is that Santiago applied to Ocean DAO grant to have funding for the integration, and it was very spontaneous, which we appreciate a lot. So if anyone wants to integrate us with other systems or other protocols, we will probably try to set up bounties in a couple of months to just do that. Or if you have any requests for us to integrate with some protocols that you deem to be very valuable or needed, shoot us a message on Discord or Twitter, and we'll look into connecting to the team and trying to set up an integration. Next up, who do we have? So yeah, new contract version. So now we dig a bit deeper into the actual core value of Superfluid. So I'll leave this to Miao.
Sorry, just setting up my here. Okay. Okay, I'm going to share the screen just to be. Now you should be able to see our contracts already on our GitHub repository, and we moved to monorepo, and we have two packages. One is Ethereum contracts, one is the JavaScript SDK, and I don't think in any of the previous calls I have introduced you to the high level. What do we have in the contracts? I just go real quick. But before scaring you off with the contract stuff, but do visit our docs.superfluid.finance. You don't really need to dive into the contracts level to understand how to use our flow, constant flow agreement and the instant distribution. So with this tutorial, you should be able to get up to speed fairly quick. And if you want to even avoid that, you can always visit our dashboard at app.superfluid.finance. Right. I don't have MetaMask on this browser, but so coming back regarding the contract structure, so we just freeze the code for the auditing, and it's ongoing, and we'll update you that fairly soon. And the contracts are available. It's currently using the Truffle as a development environment, and the structure is that most of the documentation, in-code documentation, you can find from the interfaces folder. There's most of the things are on the Superfluid. If you have developed super apps, you might be already familiar with the iSuperfluid interface. So that's usually I would recommend as your entry point. And regarding the agreements, you can go to the agreements to see the interface of constant flow agreement and the instant distribution agreement. That should have enough information for you to understand how it works. The implementation you can find from, for example, I showed you Superfluid, right? So you just go out one level up, go to Superfluid. There is Superfluid implementation. There's a super token implementation. And the super token, I would repeat, is that it's ERC20 and ERC777 compatible implementation, plus the streaming features that we implemented in the so-called Superfluid token abstract contract. All right, I will not bore you with more. For the agreements, you can see from the agreements here. But in order to build super apps, we'll provide a bunch of examples at the root directory. The examples including the dividends rights token. So it's a ERC20 token where the holders of the token would be able to receive future dividends distributed through the instant distribution framework. Flow Lottery is a money game designed for people to send a stream to the application, and the application will aggregate all the streams that they're receiving from people sending to it, and aggregate into one and send to one winner. Each time people participated, they will redraw and reshuffle the winner. So that's the idea, and it's fairly simple contracts, I would say. And we will have more tutorial coming in the future to show you how to build it. But if you are curious already, can always go and have a look. This is using our latest updated contracts. And some other things that I myself didn't build. I'm not super familiar. I will leave for future date, I guess. So yeah, that's the contracts. And more importantly, we have also published to our published a package to the where is it? npm.js Ethereum contracts. There you go. So the contracts are now published to NPM JS registry. This is where you need to, if you want to develop Solidity contracts-based applications like super apps, you can use this NPM package. And we also have the JS-SDK available. Unfortunately, it's still in RC1. There are a couple of issues of fixing. I think shortly today or tomorrow will be 0.2.0. Yeah, that's all. I don't know what more to say. So yeah, follow us on Discord, Twitter, and join the call. I'll give the floor back.
Thanks, Miao. I think we might want to touch on migration. So for whoever has built anything on our old version of the contracts, I think Francisco can tell you more about how you can move from the old version to this new version, because there are breaking changes. So we will publish an article to do just that, but I'll let Francisco guide you through.
Yeah, so some of the contracts you'll find in the examples I wrote over Christmas when I was bored. So they suck, like the code is really bad. There's a very fat disclaimer that you shouldn't use this in production, but it kind of gives you an idea of how to do things. And while I was moving them over, I took a lot of notes, and basically this article is a result of those notes. So it basically will help you to fix all the small things that have changed since Miao upgraded. I would say the biggest thing is that we now have custom stream parameters. So this is a very big thing. It's actually wasn't a big code change, but it's a big thing from a developer perspective, because it means that when you open a stream, you can add any data you want to it. So if a user, for example, is subscribing to a specific product in your website, then you can ask them to specify what product they are subscribing to as a parameter. You can add order ID, you can add their avatar in there, I don't know, whatever works for your app, you can add as a custom parameter. So this is great, but it means there's an extra parameter in every single call. So every single call you wrote so far is going to fail. So you have to go and check all of them, but the fix is very simple. You just add placeholder, so just add 0x in there, and it will work. So a few extra things. The JavaScript SDK has changed a bit. So if you wrote your tests using the previous one, I would suggest to rewrite them. The new one is very, very good. Patrick will go over it afterwards. And the repository structure is also changed. So now it's much easier because you can import directly the packages from NPM. The code is all there. So if you have any doubts, if anything isn't documented 100%, you can always refer back to the source, which I suggest to do because not everything is documented as well as we'd love it to. So the context has also changed. It's now an object instead of a tuple. So the way you retrieve the message sender is slightly different. So those are most of the changes. If you go to the end, it's literally a list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of things you can do to get up and running with the new code. So we'll be publishing this later today or tomorrow. And yeah, just follow through that and you should be able to get your code working on the new version. And
awesome. All right, any questions, guys, on the contracts or the migration?
I have one.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm wondering if right now it is possible for us to register another ERC20 into the Super Token registry, so we can work on other use cases using other kind of tokens instead of only DAI or USDC.
Yeah, so there are multiple levels of answer. So first, I want to understand: Are you saying you're creating a natively super token, or are you trying to wrap existing ERC20?
Yeah, wrapping an existing one.
Okay,
yeah.
Wrapping on existing one. So there's no permission for anyone to wrap existing super token to anyone. In fact, you can, well, basically there's no permission. So you could simply create a wrapper and that would be it.
All right.
Yeah, so although the next level would be what would be considered, well, there's no such thing called official, but at least on our dashboard, we only show curated a list, so your token wouldn't be visible in the dashboard, but that's not preventing you from using it whatsoever. It's permissionless.
Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. So if you need support, just ping us in Discord chat. We're ramping up our time in Discord, hanging around more and give you more support in the future for sure.
Great, cool. Thanks.
Yeah, we have a question in the chat as well, where Rafa is asking if there is a size limit to the data we can include in the flow agreement. For example, a list of subscribers, for example, or things like that. I think it's more a field, right?
The user data that Francesco was talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, custom fields.
From my, I haven't tried myself, but there may be better Solidity developer in this group can tell me, but from my research showed me without trying it out, the core data field, maybe let me talk over the screen. It's more concrete. Just 1 second.
And there is me asking everyone to join the call on Slack.
Oh, really? I'm sorry. What did I share?
Well, we are all here, so it worked.
All right. Fortunately, it's not it's safe for work. Okay. Superfluid. What is that? Superfluid. That's called core agreement. Right. So as you can see, it's just a function with core data plus a user data. And that user data, according to my limited research, I mean, Stack Overflow, of course, it's fairly big. So it will be limited. I mean, how big? I think it's virtually unlimited for you. It's like several 100K or something. That should be enough, right? You could just, I think you could find out the same answer that I have Googled like a few seconds. Like I think it was yesterday when we were wondering about it. So yeah, to answer, hopefully that answers the question. It's big enough that several 100K at least. If you need bigger, then I don't know. So that's the field of user data. Okay.
I think the caveat here is that it's more about the computation afterwards that you do on that data. Yeah. So if the computation hits the block limit, then it will fail. So if you have a very long list and then your code goes through that list, then the limit is there, right? It's not on the cold data itself. In the cold data, you can literally dump everything and it will go through and it will emit to the events. So yeah, no limit probably.
As long as gas prices allow.
Yeah, if there's in this group chat, like who is a Solidity developer or familiar with the Web3 stack, have a different view on it, please shout. I would just simply add another complication is that depends on also on your Web3 node. And there are certain HTTP proxy or certain web gateway, whatever, doesn't allow too big a request size. So that would be the limitation I would think can be in play also, but otherwise, yeah. Didi, you want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to add, if nothing else, at some point there is the block gas limit. So I think there is no limit, but there is always a block gas limit. So I don't know how much can fit if no computation is done, but there's always the block gas limit.
Ethereum holding us back, like always. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Any other questions, guys? I mean, Todd, sorry if we're a bit technical. We'll try to be a bit less technical going forward, but it was important because this really changes a few things for all our developers in the community. So yeah, any questions about how the contract works? If you have any questions about our constant flow agreement or Eastern distribution agreement, or what you can do with Superfluid, and you know, some of you has not touched our documentation yet, feel free to ask even what you would deem to be very basic questions. We're happy to answer.
Thank you. No questions here. Just kind of acquainting myself with the project and the team and the code. Not super technical, but really interested in seeing the progress moving forward.
Awesome. Any other questions? I'd like to say a welcome to Lee, who joined later than our introduction round. So maybe you can say hi to everyone.
Hey, everyone. Hey, good to see you, Mike. Yeah, just wanted to say hi. Mike and I have known each other for 7, 8 years. Crazy. And he's the person that got me into blockchain, actually.
And then you became CEO of Harmony. How about that?
Yeah, crazy. So hopefully one day you guys can build on us, and we're actually, the funny thing is that we actually have a bridge to Ethereum. So basically, like, we don't really think we're competing with anybody in particular, but instead we're actually bridging Ethereum, Bitcoin, and all the other major chains and making everything interoperable. There should just be like basically one abstract layer, and then eventually people won't even know what they're using, right? They're just like building applications and the money appears like magic.
Yeah, we are also looking at being a multi-chain or a cross-chain at some point, because we have seen that, for example, chains like XDAI are kind of needed right now. Thankfully, with Superfluid, you can save on gas quite a lot for any recurring transactions, and we have loaded batch calls into our system so that you can do multiple calls, or you have even callbacks and things like that should simplify a bit the development. But I think that it's amazing you've done the bridge. So now I've seen that you're boosting that up. I got your newsletter like today, and I know that you're boosting the Ethereum bridge development. So it should be pretty easy to deploy over into any other chain soon. So yeah, glad to have you here. Who else? Anyone else has any other questions on the project, or should we move on to SDK? I see Patrick is eager to present. All right, feels like we're going forward. Go, Patrick. Stage is yours.
All right. So, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So, hey guys, I joined the team as a developer experience. So if you've got questions and ideas and stuff around like what it's like to build dApps and build with Superfluid, hit me up. I'm available. So part of the move to the monorepo that we just did was to bring out the SDK package, separate it from the contracts, because like when you're going to build your React application or your Node app or whatever you're going to be building, you don't want to bring truffle with that. Like, let's make it lightweight, right? So we separated the two out. So I think the unpacked size is only like 95 kilobytes now. And with that, we also removed the builds as well. So you're just getting like the ABI and the very small interfaces for all the contracts. So, and like, as Fran said, that's SDK is where you can get all the addresses as well. So, I build a lot of dApps, and I know what it's like to have to import some really bloated Web3 package, and I didn't want that to be the case. So hopefully it's a much smoother experience now. So the new changes to the SDK are really about reframing it as, let's not write an application where I have to know what agreements I'm calling, what contracts I'm calling, right? Like, let's frame it as a story. So I want to have characters, and these characters want to perform actions. And so when I'm writing the code, I want to say, this person does this thing and this way, right? So subject, verb, and then modifiers or arguments. So what we did was we created the user object on the Superfluid framework. So once you initialize the framework, which is the same as before, then you can create this user object like Bob, provide the address for Bob, and provide the token that you want to be working with. So for instance, if you're building an app and you have a button that's like, send a flow to somebody, as soon as they hit that button, you would create a new user entity. You would pass which tokens you want to be working with for that specific, case. And then you can do sort of things like bob.flow and provide the recipient in the flow rate. And this abstracts away all of the underlying contract calls that you had to be thinking about before. So if you did go through the tutorials earlier, we've updated them. The old tutorial stuff is still there at the bottom. But now at the top, you see this more abstracted layer using these user entities. So for instance, in docs.superfluid.finance, we'll go to the create a superfluid flow tutorial. You'll see that if you scroll down, we show how to create these individual user entities and call like that flow function, and then see the data about what actually happened. And so this is kind of nice, right? Because now it's like, I don't need to know, do I need to create a flow? Do I need to update a flow? Do I need to delete a flow? All of those are kind of squashed in. So if you provide a flow rate that's one thing, and then you provide another flow rate that's 0, well, okay, the SDK is going to say, yeah, let's go ahead and delete the flow because this person's not, doesn't want a flow anymore. So that's on the constant flow agreement side. And then we also did is we did the same thing for constant flows that we did for IDA. So if you go to the IDA tutorial, right now we introduced the idea of pools. And so a pool is just a way to kind of wrap up this idea. Todd, this might be something that you're interested in. If you're trying to distribute funds to a large group of people, then that's what the instant distribution agreements are for. And so in this scenario, we'll say the pool is the group of people that you're trying to distribute funds to. And the publisher is the person that's sending those funds. So in this example, Alice is calling, let me make this a little bigger. Alice is calling create pool and provides just an ID so that we can identify that. And we know that this pool is dealing with a token, a specific token, because when we initialized the Alice entity, we already provided that token. So we know, okay, we have DAI and we made a pool. Now we're going to give shares to specific people, and we can specify the number of shares that we're going to give each one. And we can do that as many times as we want, and we can change those shares and have fun with it. And then when Alice is ready to distribute funds to those pools, she's just calling distribute to pool, right? So Alice, distribute to pool, and then this pool, and then the amount. And so in that way, Dan will get 90% of those tokens, and Carol will get 10% of those tokens. So that's pretty much it. The only caveat to this is the approved subscription, which you can read about in the tutorials. Am I missing anything?
Can the population of those pools be less than 1%? So the size essentially equal to greater than 100?
The size in terms of shares or in terms of recipients?
Yeah, can you do fractional shares, I guess, is a better question.
Yeah, exactly. So the shares are out of the total. So if Alice gives 10 shares and that's it, then there's 10 shares. And if she gives 90 shares and then 10 shares, then now there's 100 shares total. Smart. So, it's just based on the total amount of shares.
Yeah, it's 18 decimals. So you can go down to quite a bit of precision as to how exactly you want to subdivide them. That said, it only goes to 18 decimals, so there might be a slight discrepancy as to exactly how much you distribute.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I would clarify that actually the number of decimals is up to you decide. The shares is just an integer. You can in your interface you can say it's how many decimals as you want. So I would recommend using a bigger number. The raw number here, we don't package it in that level, but you put a bigger number so that you don't need to deal with the fraction loss issue too much.
Yep. I see a question, Raphael, in the chat. Is there a way to create a pool without specifying a share amount? So every recipient in the future is added will receive the same amount of shares. So you have to call give shares regardless. You cannot create a pool and add people with, like, give shares is how we add people. And so my suggestion there would just be to hard code shares to be, the same number. So every time you're calling give shares, everyone gets the same amount. And that's my recommendation there. And if you wanted to do something advanced, right, you can always update the shares. And I need to actually, I don't think I actually built for that. So we may need to add that to the SDK for modifying shares if you wanted to change the number of shares that somebody has.
Yeah, in general, I'd add that these SDKs are very new, right? So it's something we've been working on for the past month and a half. There's definitely room for improvement. And I think the best way to improve it is really to see how you guys want to use it. So based on, this is kind of our interpretation, and based on Patrick's experience of building dApps, I do think this way of thinking about it, where you have a person doing an action, is a very good mental model. But there's definitely a lot of extra things we could abstract away to make it easier for you guys to use. So let us know if you have any questions, any ideas. And the protocol is completely open source, so you could even just edit the code and send a pull request. So we're absolutely open to all the help that you might feel inclined to give. Personally, even before Patrick joined, when I was writing tests, I wrote my own abstractions. So if any of you guys have your own abstractions that you wrote, feel free to share them, and maybe we can include them in the code in some way.
Yep. Let me know if there's any SDK questions, or if you're building a front-end application or a back-end application, and so there's like bugs, just jump in the Discord and we'll try to help you out.
Santiago, are you working only on Solidity level, or is there going to be a front end too for your integration?
Yeah, I think I'll need. I'm not sure if you guys have deployed a subgraph for Superfluid, but for example, if I'm going to use another ERC, in this case the Ocean token, for creating constant flow agreements, I will need to show that in the Ocean market in some way. So yeah, that's another question that I have. If you guys have a subgraph already deployed, or we need to fetch all that info from the contract events. Yeah.
So at the moment, we don't have a subgraph yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite easy to make one, as far as I know. I know there are there's at least one developer in the space that's built a subgraph for Superfluid, but I think we'll work on our own one as soon as we get there. We've got a fairly intense roadmap on the developer experience side, but Patrick, the first thing he said when he joined was, when are we doing the subgraph? So I think Patrick is actually one of the top indexers on subgraph. Maybe Pat, you can brag a bit.
Yeah, I'm excited to build a subgraph. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
So yeah, Santiago, if you have any specific requirements, let us know, and we'll make it happen so that you can use that in your integration.
Great, cool, thank you.
Yeah, we're hoping to have a bit more visualization tools at some point about the protocol and the network, but we felt like those for testnet are not really that relevant for now. But as soon as we will be in mainnet, we'll try to have more of those network analytics in a way, so that you can see also, the network stats, and you can retrieve information a lot easier than today. But if you have any needs, for any need whatsoever, just please do text us on Discord, because we monitor it, we are all on it, and we use that as kind of open conversation with the broader community, so that we know what everyone is up to and what you need. This is an open source project, so we are all in the same boat.
Yeah. So yeah, very cool stuff. Thanks everybody for joining. Alexander, I pinged you because I remember we had a lot of talks about this. You missed the first part. We deployed on Rinkeby and Robston, so you can probably start using that. And the contracts are also open sourced. So I'm hoping to see Creaton go forward and kick some ass in 2021.
There is a question from Alberto. No, okay, it's more a statement.
Is this a source cred? Source cred, I'm not familiar with source cred.
Yeah, so this would be an example of like a backend application you might want to build. I think that what Alberto is talking about is source cred, I believe, takes information about participation in a community, and the primary example being like a Discord community. And the more you participate, it can change your roles and moderation levels in the group, but then it can also have an impact on chain. And so I think what he's recommending is that source cred, you could have an application that based on the data from source cred, it's watching and saying, okay, this person's participating a lot. We can actually change the share amount. So if there is a distribution event, the people who are participating more in the community can receive more of those funds. And I think that'd be a really cool idea. Oh, and it's across GitHub and Discourse as well. Yeah, that would be really awesome.
That would be really cool.
I have a question. All operations in the Goerli testnet was reset.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. So yeah, okay. Absolutely everything you've done so far on Goerli on the dashboard it's still there, but the dashboard is now pointing to the new network with the new code, with new contracts. So all your previous streams are now not visible in the dashboard. I hope you didn't have anything too important there. If you did, I can help you set it up. But yeah, now it's all on the new code, so there should be less bugs. I hope. If anybody does have any bugs, please let us know. But there should definitely be less bugs, and there's a couple of other features we've added too. So if you go to the settings, you can switch on unlimited approval, for example, so you don't have to kind of approve every time. And yeah, there's a few other things that we're working on at the moment. Yeah.
I'll show that rather show that instead of talking about, just quickly show.
Yeah, I would say like almost every call we should probably hype up the dashboard, because I am always impressed with using that thing, and it's such a great learning tool to just get people up to speed. Like maybe even like at the beginning of every call, like a 2-second like here's how to make a stream, like because it only takes really like 2 seconds, right? So I think I'm surprised that you guys don't hype it up more.
No, we're super proud of our dashboard, and absolutely, the guys in the chat, you can see Damola and Mehul, they're the builders, and Cesar is the designer. So whatever you see here, it's their work. So I guess the reason I don't hype it up much is because it's not my work, but they're doing a really amazing job, and we have received quite a few compliments from people, which is great. I'm quite suspicious that nobody ever complains, because I'm sure there's bugs, but it's great that that you guys appreciate it so much. So yeah, give me a second and I'll show you how to do this stuff.
In the meantime, Franklin, did you have anything important such that you want to have the dashboard accessible into the old version of the contracts for some reasons?
No. Only if I need to check, but in my dashboard all is new, but it's okay, no problem.
It's not gonna happen in mainnet, don't worry.
Okay.
Sorry about that. We should have probably warned everybody that these breaking changes were coming in.
Yeah, if anyone has any ideas regarding new GIFs, new loading GIFs, because probably you guys don't open it as often, but I open this 10 times a day, and I've now seen them all. So if you have any ideas of other Atari games that we should make into GIFs, let us know, and maybe we can make it happen. So, and maybe we can, make an NFT of that GIF, and maybe whoever has the idea can get the NFT. Who knows, right? But one thing I did want to ask everyone actually is if any of you are participating in any hackathons this month or next month, because there's some pretty exciting ones coming up. So is anybody participating in any hackathons? Maybe ETH Denver, for example? No? Here we go. Let's send a stream to Vitalik. I'm sure he'll appreciate this. He's latest billionaire thanks to the new all-time high, but I'm sure he can appreciate receiving a stream anyway. So here goes. So yeah, we have full support for ENS. I don't know if we told you this last time. So I think it helps a lot when developing. We don't support it yet in the JavaScript SDK, but that's coming too. So you'll be able to write Bob recipient alice.eth, and that will work too. So we're working on that. And yeah, here you go, stream created. Yeah, so just to say this out loud, we are going to be sponsors at ETH Denver. So we will have some very exciting bounties up, and these will mostly go to, let's say, people building with Superfluid, but even if Superfluid is not kind of the main thing you build on, it will still, you might still get some prizes. So we'll have some prizes for those who kind of integrate in a more shallow way. So if any of you guys are interested in participating in ETH Denver, get in contact with us. I've already got a list of people that have contacted us. So you might, we might be able to help you create a team. And if you have any ideas, ETH Denver is an amazing place. I don't know if any of you were there last year, but I was there hacking with Patrick, and, in I think it was 24 hours without sleep, we hacked up a really cool application. I think it was a subgraph prize actually. And yeah, it doesn't take long to build a proof of concept for a hackathon. So Patrick, how was ETH Denver? How cool was it?
We can't hear you, Patrick, for some reason. You have been censored. What happened? Is it Washington?
Okay, so they've silenced Washington DC.
Check.
Here he is.
How about there? Okay.
Yeah, there you are.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, all right, ETH Denver is gonna be great. I mean, it's usually in person, so it's gonna be different this year, but I think they're doing some crazy like virtual stuff. But regardless, it's the biggest like Ethereum, developer event. That's where people are like building and hacking. Like there's DevCon, which is another great event, but this one's like let's get everybody together and like make some cool stuff, right? And like, yeah, I mean, it's always, last time like Vitalik like read a children's book like on stage, and it was like the most heartwarming thing like I've ever seen.
With the governor of Colorado.
With the governor, yeah, and it was just like, and like there's a mascot, this like what is it, a buffalo and a unicorn mixed together, so it's like
a Buffycorn. And I think the governor of Wyoming was there as well.
Yeah, there was a debate between the two, right? I think one of them was a Democrat, the other one was a Republican, so they got a bit heated at some point. It's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
Both of them blockchain fans though, so that's
cool. Yeah. Were you there, Todd?
I was there, yeah.
Oh, amazing.
So are you coming this year, even if it's virtual?
I'll probably attend as a guest. I won't be participating in a group unless I find something that's interesting. I'm more of a designer than a developer. So if you know any teams that are looking for designers,
there is this new protocol that is like super cool. It's called like Superfluid. If you want, we got plenty of ideas to implement. Like we can even put a team together.
Yeah, sure.
No, but jokes aside, our whole team will be there. Some of us might even be hacking, even though it's going to be a very intense week for us. So we have done this before, trying to put teams together, because we talk code and development, but we also talk design and UX UI and all the front end sides. So we can took all things together and put a team together. And we would likely want to do so, just because the more open source crazy stuff we produce, the better everyone in blockchain is, after all. So yeah.
I think Cesar, our designer, would agree that design is the most important part of the protocol. So you need good design, right? Otherwise, nobody understands what you're doing, except for Meow, who only understands numbers and letters. But,
did we sign up Cesar for ETH Denver without telling him yet?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, I'll do it. Okay.
Yeah, Didi, are you coming to ETH Denver?
I don't think so. But
you should.
Maybe virtually. When is it?
It's second week, I think, of February. I think it's 7th to 13th.
Yeah, 5th to 13th or something like that.
I can tell you it's going to be the best virtual event you'll attend this year. We've seen how it's going to look, and it's going to be fun.
Also, we have Jesus on the call, who is probably coming too, right?
Oh yeah, Jesus was there last year with me. Do you remember Jesus, Patrick?
Yeah, I remember. What's up?
So yeah, he was there with us last year, and I think he's actually sponsoring too this year. Jesus, I don't know if you can hear us, but yeah. So it's a really cool event. I really suggest everyone in the call, Rafael, Paolo, I know you guys are always looking for something to build. ETH Denver is the place where you will find a cool idea, and in a week you will build it, and it will be amazing, I can assure you. And what I've seen is that if you put the passion in, if you put a bit of work in, there's always a prize for everyone. Even if it's just amazing t-shirts from 5 different sponsors, it's still worth attending, and it's free. So obviously it's not free for us, the sponsor, but it's free for you to participate. So I really suggest it. And I think it would be an amazing experience for any of you guys.
Cool. All right, we are about to hit the hour. Does anybody have any questions or any things that you'd like to share with the community? Any projects, even of your own, that you want to, give a shout out to?
Alberto, I think it's your chance to shill Pocket Network.
Thanks, I appreciate that. Yeah, so Pocket Network is a unified blockchain API as a protocol and marketplace. You can imagine it kind of similar to like a decentralized Infura mixed with like a graph. Yeah, I think that we're super well positioned to support your guys across multiple networks, especially since we support Ethereum mainnet as a full node, archive nodes. We support every Ethereum testnet, and we recently spun up support for XDAI as well. So when you guys are ready to go like cross-chain, I think we could like collaborate on that and make that process seamless. Yeah, I'm just excited to see all the work that you guys done. I'm looking forward to what else you guys do, and I hope that we could collab.
Sounds good. Thanks for that. And Kirill, would you like to say something?
Hey all, is my audio working?
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you for the presentation today. We are excited to potentially launch Stakewise, the ETH2 staking platform, with a unique tokenomics model already next week. And I mean, we might as well try to advertise it and like find ways to integrate other products into our platform in ETH Denver. But if you're curious, check out stakewise.io to learn more.
Okay, I love that we have commercials at the end. Thanks, guys, for joining.
Yeah, before we close, guys, is there anything that any of you would like to see being developed by Superfluid? Like, any request for features, request for dashboard, request for SDK, anything that you're advocating strongly for having it done? Damn, I can't believe we are doing everything you want. No, it's not possible. All right, so taking note of that, we'll keep asking all over the place between Twitter and Discord, and we'll keep asking at ETH Denver. Is there a way to know if an address is using a Superfluid? I do believe every transaction is on chain, so you could listen to events, and you could potentially listen to when someone's depositing or using a wrapper or using or sending a stream or any of these actions. At the moment, I don't believe we have anything that does that for you in a kind of one-click fashion, but it will soon be done. At least for mainnet when we are live.
Yeah, a subgraph would probably do that very easily, I think. Otherwise, if you know what token they're using, then you just check if their balance is different than 0. So if they have a balance in a super token, then they're probably using Superfluid. But that's, it depends what kind of usage you mean, but that should work.
Fran, do you want to show an Explorer? Or is it not tuned to the new contracts yet?
No. Next time. I'll show you guys the proof of concept Explorer that we're building. It's very cool. But it's not ready yet. So yeah, make a lot of fake interactions on the testnet, so the Explorer has something to show.
Awesome. All right, guys, time to wrap up. Any last minute question or shout out?
When mainnet?
This is for Fran.
Soon.
So we are, go for it. Come on, Fran.
Soon. We'll be launching soon.
Yes, you know how these things go, Kirill. We'd rather be safe than sorry. So we need to get the code reviewed a few times from different people, and that takes forever, especially now in this bull market. Everyone is asking for auditors' time. So we are trying to make sure that our first version doesn't create a 15 million hack or some exploit of some sort. So we are a bit slower than what we wanted to be, but we'll try to be launching soon.
I didn't mean to put you guys in the spot. I was just.
No commercials next time.
No ad space for you. So when mainnet for Stakewise, man, how are you guys doing? When can I stake?
Well, it is pretty much the same for us. Soon TM. This has been the thing we have been telling for the past month, but who knows? Maybe next week, maybe in 2. You have to stay put. It's all about the
FOMO.
Excitement, yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah, I definitely. So Kirill is based here in Tallinn, so we hang out all the time, and I really think they're building a really cool solution. So it's in the chat, the link. So please, everybody, have a look. And Alexander, how are you guys going at Creaton? I'd love an update on development and how you guys are looking at launching.
Sorry, could you say that again?
Just like, how are you doing with development?
Oh, we're doing pretty good. Yeah, we're working very closely with NuCypher right now. And so hopefully we'll be able to have a private beta at the end of this month, but we still have a lot to develop. Because with NuCypher, you have to have a desktop application right now. So yeah, it won't be ready yet for the public anytime soon. But yeah, we're doing our best. So yeah.
Cool. Well, you set yourselves up for a very complex task, but I think the rewards will be just as big. So
yeah, definitely.
Good on you for going the long way.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. Well, if we can help with anything on the Superfluid side, do let us know. And if you guys choose to participate in ETH Denver, if we can spin something up.
Yeah, I'll look at it. Can we do an upgrade on our project, or does it have to be separate?
Yeah, no, actually, we asked them that question, and I think what they said is, as long as it's very clear what was done before and what is been done during the hackathon, then it's fine. So I'd say, yeah, basically, you know, if you want to spin up a yield farming component that you haven't worked on before, you know, you could do that, for example.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Right, so we like to close our calls with like a bit friendly chat because the community is fascinating, and we have done this the last few times. It feels like you guys might not even, you know, mind having drinks all together, but we'll wrap it up now for this time. If you do want to have a totally informal hangout with the Superfluid team, let us know. We'll organize that too, and we'll be happy to hang out in person, even though it's a bit hard these days. So I'll see you all in Discord, and hopefully we'll see you all at ETH Denver. And if not, we'll see all each other on Twitter for sure. So thanks a lot for attending this call. It was fantastic, and we can't wait to see what you guys are building, especially Creaton, or you know, even the hacks that our community has done over November and December. And with this new version of the contracts, there's a lot more to build. Thanks to Patrick with the SDK, is a lot easier too. So, you know, any feedbacks, anything that you have in mind, send it our way. And, you know, let's keep it up. We love the vibes that we had in the space for the last few months. Well, especially because of the bull market, but, you know, let's keep it up. And thanks again for participating.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you all.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.